then I just got to fight you. I got to fight you at that point because
And
I'm
then I
like
feel
been
attacked.
triggered.
And then I feel attacked.
You feel attacked, and then maybe I'm attacking you now,
Right.
and then
So I am being attacked. So my feeling is justified. So.
yeah. And I
So
feel
you're
like you
the only
attacked
crazy
me
one
first.
in this
Wait a
relationship.
minute. No,
That's what
no.
it comes down to. I think you've just proven my point.
Oh, no.
I've proven my point. Now, on a scale of
Yeah, I
1 to
might be the
5,
bigger crazy.
how crazy do you think you are?
son of a gun.
5
I'm a
meaning
13.
most crazy. Oh boy. Why, hello there, freak. So glad you could join us. Time to listen in on another seriously silly conversation with Gretchen and the Lukes.
Okay, yep.
Yep.
Hold on. Luke's, I'm trying to convert the applause into a number system that I can put on this form. Maybe we'll just ask people directly. We're just going to ask people directly how you feel about the show so far. Oh, that's great. Only doesn't fit into our form. We'd like to ask everyone to write a review about how you're enjoying the show so far. I believe we're 52 seconds in, and we just need some feedback. We need some feedback. Lukes, why do you think I keep saying this? Because I am just a little bit overwhelmed with how many times my opinion is being asked for.
What?
And
I love when people ask for my opinion. I have a lot of opinions.
Yeah.
I can't believe anyone would want to know it. I have to tell everyone my unsolicited opinion constantly. I'll tell you what I think. Well, we don't want to know what you think, but I'm going to tell you anyways. Why? Because I'm the Lukes.
Oh, you know what? Maybe the very thing about modern life that's like kind of irks me is maybe something that's like, finally, maybe it feels great for you.
What do you mean? What are we talking about?
I'm talking about the constant. Okay, I don't even know the words for this sentence. I'm feeling flustered even as I think about it. But like, just the fact that everywhere you go and everything you do, it seems like you are being asked now, could you rate your service? Could you rate your experience with us today?
Oh, yes.
And I feel like those things have always maybe kind of existed a little bit. No. I mean, I guess because of the technology and the availability now to get immediate feedback.
And this is a bad thing? You don't like it?
Well, it kind of bugs me. Like, you know what? At the post office, it was fine. Like, I don't always want to be asked as you hand me my receipt. It happens in the Jack in the Box window. I remember just getting a simple Jack in the Box breakfast sandwich at
How'd we
2
do?
a.m.
How'd we do with our sandwich delivery system?
And then they circle the bottom of the receipt. If you would please go online and fill out, if you could tell us how the experience was for you.
I love that they called it an experience. You mean breakfast? Yeah. How was your experience in the morning when you had food? You mean when I ate breakfast? Well, we think of it as a fast-breaking experience.
Fast-breaking experience. And like, it just feels that it's a bit out of hand because it also, I feel like like it's so much pressure. For me, so I'm the consumer in this moment in my head right here that we're talking about. When they hand me a receipt and say that, could I fill out a review? I have a couple things go down. Number one, I feel like, it's like a whole other thing I have to do now. It feels like you're adding onto my to-do list because I have to go to your thing and I have to type in, and you can never just write in your opinion. If I could give my opinion just freely,
like if there was a big
cool.
box.
I liked it where you could just write.
Dude was cool. I liked it. That would be very helpful to them.
But then
who is the dude? What does cool mean? You liked it. Does that mean you didn't love it? Does that mean you didn't hate it?
Oh, it's like, what I really, though, don't like is when somebody asks my opinion, but then makes me conform it to the boxes of options that they have provided for me. Would you say your experience on a scale of 1 to 5? And Lukes, I do not like to be asked to rate things. I don't like to rate things.
This is the worst question they would ask you. What was your favorite part of the experience?
Oh!
Give us
trigger word for me.
Your top 3 favorite parts of the top 3. Oh, I don't even want to give you the 1.
I do not like being asked that question. What's my favorite? And I even had a job once where I was the person asking people to give me their feedback on a form.
Well, hello, hypocrite.
Oh yeah. Did you not? Did you guys everybody not know that? Definitely, I've got hypocritical tendencies. Absolutely, because also I've got flip-flopping opinions. So just get ready for that.
I'm the king of hypocrisy. I'm the clumsy aspie-hole who I put the whole world up at this, like, they need to meet these standards that are way up here, and then I always fall short. So it's kind of hypocritical too.
So I used to have a job. This is back. I lived in Chicago, and I had a job that was like a call center for Sears. The old company
Sears and
that
Roebuck
still exists, I guess, but
I think
I
they're
don't know
still
where
open.
their store. I don't know if they have stores anymore or
I think they're just a catalog place now.
really.
Yeah,
Do you
so
think
that
they still
people
have the
can in the
catalogs?
country can wipe their butts.
That you think still going on?
It's got to, right?
Oh, the good old days.
It's free paper.
Yep. I worked at this call center, and we were, I guess, somehow attached to Sears Automotive or Sears Tire Center. They sold tires.
Yeah, I remember that.
So
I
would
bought
have
tires from Sears Tires.
Oh, really? Well, Mr. Lucas, if you have a moment, I'd love to ask you about that experience
Of course. I would love
when
to
you
tell you
bought
about it.
your
Yes.
tires at Sears.
Is there a box that I can just fill in my opinion?
Well, I'll do all that for you if I could just ask you a few simple questions.
I don't want to answer your questions. I want to tell you what my experience was like.
Oh, that'd be great. But I don't want to waste your time, and I'm not going to be able to accept your opinion unless it's in the form of a 1 to 5. So how did you like the customer service when you first went to place your order?
It was
How
a
that?
9. I would say a 9, almost a 10. I would say
Oh.
that to get a 10 would be pretty difficult in my world.
Yeah, well, so I'm going to can I put you in as a 5? 5 is our highest.
No,
5 would be
5.
10.
Well, 5 would not be the highest. I would say it would be like a 4.5 if, on your scale.
Ooh, a 4. Well, so we can't really do half numbers here. So would you like me to put you down as a 4, sir?
4. Well, I thought they did way better than a 4, but
Ooh,
just
better than a
not
4.
not perfect.
So we could put you as a 5. Ooh, well, sir, we're going to have to make a decision. We only have 4 and 5 as our options.
You know what? Fuck off. Give it a 1.
Whoa,
a 1.
whoa.
A 1.
Okay.
A 1.
I feel ya.
Put a 1 in there.
Putting him as a 1. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, I'm done with this.
That is pretty much how it would go.
If you'd like to make a call, please hang up and dial again.
I would call these numbers. They were people that had bought their tires at Sears. So you're not cold calling people.
That was good. You did a good job, by the way. That I felt like I was really talking to one of those women.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
thank you. I mean, I did. It was my job. It
Yeah.
was a job.
You could tell. You could tell. You really did it.
And
You were jobbing.
It was such a hard. Parts of it were hard. Parts of the job were very easy. Parts of the job were it was very frustrating.
Okay, what was the hard part of that job?
The hard part of the
Lying?
job
Lying?
was having to get people who are making totally reasonable statements. It would be a lot of old dudes. They sounded kind of country that I was calling. And I would ask them how their service was, and I would tell them about our rating system, 1 to 5, because I would be on the computer. And they would go, "Oh, darling, it was great. Thank you for asking." I love them up there. I had a wonderful time. So in my mind, I feel like clearly this customer was satisfied, right?
Yeah.
But you had to literally make them pick a number.
Wow.
And our little managers would be listening in on the phone calls. Because initially I thought, I'm going to use my common sense at this job. I'm going to whip through a bunch of these. And I would, if someone goes, "Oh, it's great, I love them up there," I'm putting in a 5.
Right.
Did you have any, with the actual product? Nope, I've always bought Sears tires because you can count on them. They're dependable and I love them. Boom, another 5. I get called into the manager's office, though, about the way I'm handling the surveys. I'm not doing it right, so none of those surveys can count.
What?
Those people are going to need to be recalled. They're going to be happy about that.
Oh, of course they will.
And then
Didn't I already tell you this shit?
they would say, because you can't take it into your own hands, Gretchen, to decide to pick the number for them. We need to have it on the call that the customer doing the review is the one that said the number. And I felt like, what a bunch of baloney.
It sounds like it.
And I felt like, are we all going to stand here and act like this is not stupidity? Like, are you really telling me I
Well,
have to make them say a number?
But just here's the thing. Here's the thing.
What's the thing?
I'm a computer guy, okay? I was trained in computers at school, and I worked on them for a couple of years as for a living, and then I use one every day for a living now, and have for decades. So I know a little bit about programming.
Okay.
And part of the programming situation that you're dealing with in terms of judging and assessing those rating systems is if you don't have a number, the computer has a tough time with just sort of ranking words. So if it doesn't have a number associated with it, they can't do an algorithm that assesses where they need work and where they're doing well. And so that's why it is that way. I'm not saying that you should accept that and that you should like that, but I'm just saying that is why it's that way and why they're so insistent upon a number and why they want the customer to give that number, because then it's an honest, I guess, take for their computer to accumulate.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that's probably why it's a number system like that.
Yeah. Now, do you agree that it's stupid?
No.
You don't think it's stupid?
No.
Do you think that it is okay to use common sense if someone goes, that was wonderful, excellent, that the person hearing that, because I'm not a computer, so I can take that you said, I can take all your words and your tone, and I can say this is a 5. Because I'm not a computer, I can convert the human experience into the number.
Well, I think that what your boss was saying is accurate, which is it doesn't count if you type the number in without them telling you which number to type in, because then it's your interpretation of their answer. And so in that case, I know,
but isn't that stupid?
It's not, because otherwise, we're talking about data. We're talking about stats, and what stats don't lie. Stats are just an accumulation and then a division. So you're just trying to get averages, and you're trying to figure out where do we land. So if you're always putting 5s in, because sometimes those might be 4s. Maybe there could be some more work that you need to get done, and so that 4 would tell them something more than a 5 might. And the fact that it's on a scale of 1 to 5 is stupid. There should be a scale of 1 to 10 that gives you a little more flexibility.
Oh my God!
So I hate to say it,
I'm wanting
but
to quit again.
I'm sorry.
I just wanted to quit again. I quit pretty quickly because I couldn't do it.
Let me ask you this.
Because I can't sit there like an idiot with sound-minded people, customers who've had a good experience. They would get so mad at me. Because they would go, I don't want to say a number. I told you how my experience was. I don't know the number. You pick the number.
Yeah, but maybe then that's when you have a rote response to that pushback. And you say, well, sir, I can completely understand what you're saying. In order for our computers to access your and process your answers, they don't work well with words. They only work well with numbers. So is there any way you could work with me and we can figure out a number for what you just said?
Oh, maybe that could have been better.
Instead of you going, I know, this is dumb.
I know, I couldn't help it.
This is stupid shit. Well, I guess I'll call you back after my boss yells at me. Click. If you'd like to make a call.
I did get one of my comments from the managers, because I feel like then they started listening in on my calls like a lot, because they already felt like she's suspicious. She tries to interpret the words and put her own number in it. She's over there dealing with reason and human beings.
She thinks she's a computer.
She thinks she can communicate better with these people. And so they listened in a lot. But then another note I got was, I would say, I understand, sir. This is a completely stupid this is such a stupid system. But I'm going to need you in your voice to say the number. Otherwise, the survey doesn't count, and they're just going to keep calling you back, But I got in trouble for saying that our system was stupid. Even though I feel like I have a really hard time standing in a room. We're all grown adults here, and I can so clearly see how stupid this is. It irritates the customers. So even whatever data you get, by the time the call's done, nobody's really happy.
We're not even going to come to Sears anymore if you're going to ask me these questions.
And now you might have a few people that just are happy that already naturally love to rank things and put things in numbers. And so maybe you have a few of those. But a lot of times, so I would feel like, are we really going to, again today, for however many hours, we're going to just keep doing this like it's not stupid? And I just had to quit. That's how a lot of things go. I feel like I'm not safe for work, whatever that acronym is. An NSFW.
NSFW.
NSFW, just period.
You're not safe for work.
No, I just walked out one night, go to the bar next door a little earlier, wait for everyone else to finish. They came over, and
Where'd you
I just
go?
never went back.
Where'd you go?
I
They're
just
not
had to get out
happy
of
with
there.
you. Well,
I left a big number 1 on my screen. That's how satisfied I am with this job and the pay. I'm out of here.
on a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rank them? 1.
But so I feel like, so even then I was like, God, I did this just like I get it, but it's just flawed and I don't like it. And now it's everywhere.
Well,
it's not just that random Sears tire thing. It's at Jack in the Box. It's at the post office. And then the thing is, I know that it's really helpful to employees and staff and businesses to get good reviews and feedback. But also, I don't want to be responsible for that. I feel like if I came in here and our transaction happened and nobody made a scene, it's probably going fine. And I don't want to have to like tell you it's fine. I feel like everyone now needs too much feedback and reassurance.
That's
and
what it
I'm
comes.
like, get a hold of y'all selves. Just stop looking to everybody. What did you think? What did you think about our interaction? What did you think? What did you think?
Well,
could you give me some feedback? Oh, I'm sorry. Did anybody not like that last video? What did you think? What did you?
I get it. But like in the same breath, though, if the experience wasn't a good one, you would be upset that whatever that business was didn't have their shit together, and so you would. This is their attempt to get their shit together, and so the fact that you would bemoan that, but then probably in the same breath complain about them coming up short when it comes to serving you, like it's tough. What are they supposed to do?
I wouldn't want to give a bad one either, because I feel like in my own head,
even if you
what?
had a bad experience.
Yeah, I wouldn't give a bad. I wouldn't because I feel like, you know what? People got bad days. Maybe I was even a part of the bad experience. I don't know. That didn't go well, but I don't need to go and make an official statement that I had an unpleasant experience and then bring extra havoc.
But some people like to do that. Some people need to do that.
But why? Why do they need to? What's the deal?
Well, because the businesses need to respond to that so that they have an answer when someone says, "Do you understand that this isn't working?" And you're like, "Yes, sir. We've actually picked that up, and we're in the middle of processing that and trying to work on it right now."
Okay.
And how would you rate my process of this stuff? Would you give it a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2?
My God.
Are you satisfied? Are you completely unsatisfied?
Oh.
Yeah, I don't have I always just go through, like for instance, whenever I order a lot from Amazon Prime. Mm-hmm. That's where I do a lot of my major shopping, and so it gets delivered to the front door. And when they deliver it to the front door, they take a little picture of it, and then they send that in an email to me and says, "What did you think? How'd you like it? How'd you like our delivery?" So it's my job then to say, "I liked it," but then as soon as you click on "I liked it," it is a link that goes right to a survey.
Oh, geez.
Well, but it's an easy survey to take because it's like 6 icons across the top of the thing, and it just says, "What did you like?" And then you just have to click one of the icons if you like their friendliness, their service, their timeliness, and all that kind of stuff. And so I just go click, 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 and it's just a compliment that delivery person gets, and so that probably affects their pay.
Right.
So,
no, it's good.
So if you don't do that, then it affects the ability for you to get your stuff delivered to you.
Because you know what? That's the thing that's like now the pressure that I feel is being put. Because now I feel like, because my sister was talking to me about this, about what kind of review she was going to put for the like rental house that we recently went down to Galveston. My whole family, we're going down there, we're hanging out. She's talking about the review. At first, I just was like, oh, yeah, right, the whole review thing, Glad you're handling all the practical stuff.
Yeah.
Which she does, thank goodness. And so she's got some things that she thinks can be improved on the property or, things that could make it better, whatever. But I found myself feeling like, what, like, but it's not your house. Like, this is what they have. This is the rental house, period. We rented it. Everything was fine. Why are you going to write all these like enhancements or things that would make it better?
That's funny.
And she's like, well, because, I would want to know if there are things I could do that are simple that would improve it and this and that. And
she's right.
And then, but I'm like, but isn't that going to show? But then she was saying but if you don't leave a review, that can work against a business or a person because why didn't you say something or something good or whatever? And again, I just feel like and maybe it's just me and maybe it's just my ADHD brain, because it's a multi-step process, like where it's just extra work and I just literally can't handle it. And then now I don't want to be people trying to use my empathy against me by going, but now you're kind of hurting them that you didn't give a review. Like, can't you just say the Amazon guy put the box in a good place on your porch? Why can't you do that? Why can't you just be a nice person and
Just
say,
give 'em
yes, I
fives.
liked it?
Why can't you just give them
Because
fives?
it's like, you know what? It feels like a hoop, and I don't want to jump through it. I don't like being prompted for stuff like that.
You must be very busy.
Flipping. No, I'm not busy at all. Okay? I am not busy at
I
all.
know. I was being sarcastic.
And yet I'm overwhelmed and busy
Yes.
all the time.
Now, your busyness, would you rank it 5, a
Oh!
4, a 3? What's your favorite part of busyness?
have a Googleplex of busyness.
Oh, that's a lot.
Can I put that number in there? I put that number in there?
That would be a 5. But I need to hear you say it.
Oh, man. Right? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, obviously, I guess you call this a first world problem. Is it a first world problem?
Well,
when you say, like, I really shouldn't be bothered by this, it's not a real problem.
No, I know what a first world problem is for sure.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to explain that.
Are you
to
first world explaining me to me? I know what that is, but it is like, I don't know,
guess
like,
it's fine.
because here's the thing. Businesses are trying to do better. They're trying to make more money, and the only way they can make more money is if their customers are happy and keep coming back. And so that's all they're really doing this for, is for the fact that they want us to be happy. And there might be, they want to make money. I mean, it really comes down to money. They, like, if we're happy, then they make more money, and so that's really why they want us to be happy, not because they care about how we feel,
Sure.
but they care that when we're happy, we make money.
So they want to know how the customers are feeling.
Yeah, so
Maybe
I
there
get
could be a
that
middle
part.
ground. Like,
What's the middle ground?
or
though?
of like, if people feel inspired to say something, they usually will.
Yeah, but
You don't
usually
have to
that's
solicit from every person.
but
your
usually
feedback,
the
your
only people
feedback.
that say stuff are the people that are complaining. So they also want to know where they're doing well.
Yeah.
And sometimes the people that, like, because, frankly, if I go to a restaurant, you serve me food, it's delicious, and the service is good, you did your job. So, period. That's what I come to expect. Like, I don't need to rate that a 10 because you did your job. But if there's extra great service, if the food is particularly delicious, if it really met, like maybe I was on a date and they made a special deal out of my date and all that kind of thing, then I want to tell them that went really well. And so that's the only way to do it, is through those kind of surveys, I guess. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
I can see their side of it.
I will begin participating when there's an option where you can
But don't do it
leave.
begrudgingly. All right, you got to give you the goddamn 5, whatever,
Where you can
for
leave
you because you need it.
insecure businesses.
That's what it sounds like.
Yes,
You're
you're
like,
needing us to tell you, yes, you're doing fine. I feel like, yes, self-soothe.
wow,
But if I had an option to leave a quick message with my voice words, I'll tell you what I think. My biggest problem is probably that things that are in format with options.
those are never your options. I
They've
get
never,
it.
yes, it's never, and that is an ADHD thing, because they say that I had one psychiatrist, Luke's, every time I've gone in, like I've had to find a new psychiatrist, either because we moved or insurance changed,
Or they said, get out of my office, you knucklehead.
I always have this, now I can say, I guess it's an irrational fear, but I used to think, they are not going to believe me that I have ADHD, and they're probably going to think I'm medication seeking for this Adderall.
If you ever need someone to back that up, you just have them call me. I will be glad to tell them that, yes, indeed, you have diagnosed her correctly.
And never once has it been an issue. No one's ever felt like it's obvious, I guess.
You said on one show that they watched you in the parking lot.
Yep.
And they could tell.
She, the psychiatrist, she told me that she could, because with her, by this point, I think she was like the fourth one. I shared with her, I said, wow, I guess we must have some pretty big tells, because to the trained eye, I said, because each time I've had to find a new one, just because I do take Adderall, and it's really helpful for me, especially like during this phase of my life with kids and school and schedules and clock time and all that. But Adderall is a Schedule II drug, narcotic, or I don't know if you call it a narcotic. I mean, all drugs are narcotic. I don't know, but it's Schedule II, basically meaning people also use it for their, who don't need it,
Yeah.
to party, to stay awake, to, I don't know. It totally doesn't work like that for me. So I don't know the experience people have on it where it's fun, or
They use it where you would also perhaps use meth.
use meth. You're right. It is meth, actually. It does say it is good, clean meth, pharmaceutical meth. But anyway, so there's all, it's just whenever you're requiring a medication that has those sort of restrictions, they have more precaution and safety things set up so that people aren't abusing it or getting it and selling it and things like that. So it just has made me very nervous, like what I'm getting is so whatever. And so anyway, I said to this psychiatrist, we must have some tells to the trained eye, because now this is the fourth doctor, and each time I've felt they're not going to believe me. And so she shared a few, and she said, because we were kind of laughing, she was being personable at this point, and she said, I'll be totally honest. She said, I was coming in today. She came in later, I guess, right before I was her first appointment. And she said, I noticed you in the parking lot. And she said, and so I wasn't sure if you were my new patient on my docket or whatever for today. She said, but I had never seen you, so I noticed you. She said, but also I just kind of noticed the bit of the struggle you were having at parking and getting out of your car. And she wasn't lying. There was a bit of a struggle going on, because
You were like, so what else is new, lady?
There was a clothing struggle, seatbelt struggle. There was a digging through lots of bags. There's always maybe bits of trash falling out of the car, these things. And then she said, I'll tell you another thing that we noticed. She pulled out my form, my new patient form, and on the form, in the spots where what I needed to say, they didn't give me a box to check that option. I would draw a little arrow and then write out my explanation, whether it was about your menstrual cycle or your whatever. And I had all these arrows and stuff drawn around my form with little bits of information, necessary stuff that I felt they needed to know about me, and they didn't give me that option in the box to check.
Hello, Tell.
And so then she said, and then she pulled out a few other forms of her ADHD patients, and all their forms were written all over.
Same thing.
Written all over.
Of course.
And then she showed me some of her other patients, even that have their own mental health struggles, but they check boxes and just simply turn in the form. But all of her ADHD patients, their original forms, there's extra writing everywhere and over explaining of things.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I feel like I'm going to check this box, but disclaimer, it's like this is 80% of the time true. Sometimes this occurs, and then this might happen and that might happen. So it's not a full check of the box. It's like it can't be put into something. So it's like we can't. It's probably why I hate this whole ranking system.
This explanation is in the.
It's getting out of hand.
It's in the in the columns on the side there.
That's so true. It's so true.
It's funny.
Oh, okay. Reviews are fine. Reviews are great. I'm glad everyone has an opinion, and that everybody can feel like, yeah, of course, your opinion is as important as anyone else's. So I guess this is ultimately a me problem.
Well, you don't like to feel like you're being grilled.
You're right about that. You're right about that. I feel interrogated if asked too many questions. I definitely feel interrogated.
Well, that's funny because I always feel attacked.
That's so true. That's so true.
I think that's part of my Aspie hole wiring. If I may identify as an Aspie hole, whatever that wiring is, apparently my folks tend to think that people are trying to attack us.
Just all the time.
All the time. That's what
That's true.
Well, that's what my wife has told me, and I don't like to be attacked like that.
Yeah.
She was in my face. She was telling me all this stuff about me being attacked, and I'm like, we back off. This is inappropriate the way you're just coming at me like that, with all this information about who I am and how I like to feel like I'm attacked. And so she was all over me, man. It was all over me. It was ridiculous.
Being your wife, I can speak to that, I think. I think that often
you were there.
You just feel you will feel attacked.
You saw
will
what
feel
happened. Attacked
in situations that I didn't see coming. I will make statements, and it looks like you do feel like you got attacked. Maybe you did. It must feel like an attack.
What if even paranoid people are right once in a while.
That's true.
They have enemies. That's what Henry Kissinger once said.
That is true. And I'm sure that sometimes people are attacking you. I think maybe suggestions feel like attacks to you in the same way that questions feel like interrogations to me.
Like this will be a perfect example. Like I'll write something and I'll hand it to someone and I say, "What do you think of this?" And then they'll attack me with different things that I could do better on the thing, typos that I've made. I mean, just in my face, grilling me with all these mistakes I've made, and I'm just like, whoa! I wanted some really positive feedback. I didn't want to be attacked.
You would be like the opposite of the restaurants and people that want that
Right.
feedback because you,
On a
I don't
scale
know
of
that
5
you
to
want it.
5,
Yeah,
what would you say? How would you say I did today? 5 being the best and 5 being the worst.
It was a 5 through
Oh,
and
well,
through.
thank you. Wow, this is great. See, she didn't attack me. She didn't attack me at all.
That would be a good workaround for you to just give people the answer that you want.
Well, I'm being funny because as a writer, I have to take feedback, but there is definitely that feeling of like I judge the way somebody gives me that feedback. So there's nice ways and mean ways to tell someone that whatever they just did sucked.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm judging them on. Like someone could say, "Well, that could use work," or someone could say that sucked. And now those are the same way to say the same thing, or two different ways to say the same thing.
You know how like when people feel attacked, the natural response might be to want to defend.
Yes.
Like if I think I'm getting attacked, I'm defending myself
Yes.
now. Does this sound? Have you ever found yourself in this scenario? Like maybe the person is trying to say as nice as possible. Like, this part could be stronger, or maybe here's an idea that might be. But then, like, you're a
Get
little
out
bit
of my
like,
asshole!
Like, well, I don't know why you would say that because, I mean, in what way? In what way? In what way? Defend yourself. Defend your feedback. Fight for it. Build a case. Build a case for that note. You prove it that note needs to be taken in by me.
I feel like you're directly quoting me and my energy. In the beginning, when I first started writing, I think I had a lot of that kind of energy. I was kind of like thinking that I was starting a debate.
It definitely felt like a trial, jury trial situation.
Now, when you read the aforementioned article, were you in any way intoxicated? It might have affected your judgment because maybe that's why your feedback is a little askew, madam. And or sir.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, I would feel like I have to now. Not only if I have a note to give, I have to also have literally my case that backs up why that note is valid.
That
have
sounds
to be
reasonable.
Ready to
That
defend
sounds
it.
reasonable.
It's just a bit much to ask from someone.
Hey, can I get some feedback? But here's what I need from you when you give me that feedback. I need it written alphabetically. I need it to be kind. I need it to be insightful, but yet I need there to be a compliment sandwich. So whatever you tell me that's off, I need you to tell me what's great right before it and what's great right after it. Is that okay? Can I get some feedback from you that way? No.
Mike, I'm not in the room anymore.
Hello?
I'm
Where
doing
are you?
laundry now.
Honey?
I've bailed. I've quit.
I needed some feedback. Where are you?
I felt interrogated and I left.
On a scale of 1 to 5, how was that
Jesus, get
interrogation?
outta here with your numbers.
I'm just wondering, was it a good interrogation?
No numbers are in conversation.
Yeah.
Why are numbers in conversations?
So
it's
you're feeling,
exhausting.
you always feel like I'm interrogating you just when I'm giving you just simple information. Like
Question. If you ask me a question, that's when I feel interrogated.
I'll say something like, hey, there's a...
I know one you did.
When?
I remember one. And this is where I realized that part of my wiring. Because part of my wiring is I often have first of all, I have an emotional reaction to everything.
Yes, you do.
That's just hands down. Doesn't matter.
I mean, don't we all though?
I don't know.
Like
I'm not sure.
Some
people
people's
seem to-
emotions are like a little bit more low. You have a huge emotional reaction to just about everything.
Just about everything.
Yeah, you have a lot of feels.
I remember one time just doing laundry. I guess that's what triggered it in my mind just now. I said, I'm doing laundry. And then you come in and you say, hey, Gretch, real quick, I just need your mother's maiden name.
Oh, I remember that.
Okay? Now,
Why are you grilling me?
that is a basic question, right? However,
I could answer you right now. Smith. That's my mother's maiden name.
Lions. Okay, but it took a minute. It took
now
a minute.
I know it. Now I know it.
Now
I didn't
you know
it
it.
then.
You don't have to ask, right? But so, like, what's funny from my perspective is if my brain is always fully absorbed in whatever realm it's currently in.
Right.
So whatever I was maybe thinking about
Laundry.
or daydreaming about
Laundry.
could have been.
Probably not, though. Probably you were.
Could have been wandering elsewhere. The point is, if somebody comes up to me and just with no warning asks just a direct question,
You need a warning?
I feel freaked out. I feel like I almost put my hands up. I feel like someone. It feels. I feel like I'm getting attacked. Maybe I feel like I'm getting interrogated.
Hey, Gretchen, I know you're doing the laundry, but I want to give you like a quick little warning. I'm about to ask you a question that's a little bit personal. But it's about your family. And so if I could just get you to start thinking a little bit about, say, your mom's side of the family.
Yes.
I'm wondering,
okay.
before she was ever married to your dad.
See, that's helpful.
What was her last name?
Okay, see?
And maybe her sister's last names before they were married. It would be
Okay.
that same name.
Same name.
What would that be?
See?
They call that a maiden name. So I'm just letting you know.
Got you.
In about 2 minutes,
You're gonna need that
I'm going to
answer?
ask you that question.
Okay.
So I'm going to go get a cup of coffee.
Perfect.
I'm going to have a piece of pie.
Perfect.
And then I'll come back, probably some apple or some cherry, whatever's available. And then I'll come back and then I'll ask you that question about your mother's maiden name. I don't need it now. Whatever you're thinking about is okay, but I'm going to need it in a little bit. Just warning.
Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome.
I'll have that answer for you when you come back.
this
Thank
is
you.
great.
Thank you.
This pie is delicious. Oh, a cup of coffee. Oh, more pie. I've decided to have 2 pieces because I'm so happy. Hey, it's me again. I've had my pie and my coffee, and I guess I gotta just have to fill this form out. So I'm wondering, hey,
Pie? Coffee?
What's your
Form?
mother's maiden name?
What are you talking about?
Your mother's maiden name. I warned you. I was going to ask you this.
What?
Oh no!
You stayed away too long. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Did I take
now.
too
I'm
long
back
on the
thinking
pie?
Of something else.
I
You're
had too
coming
much-
at me cold.
I had too much pie.
Oh, too much
Sorry.
pie.
I had too much pie.
That is exactly though what is helpful because
Oh my God!
because when you just ask the question, hey, what's your mother's maiden name? First, my mind is just like, whoa, someone's talking to me. Who is that person? Like, there's some moments in the mind that have to like click over into that spot because we get really absorbed wherever our minds are. And then I remember this time you asked me that because as I was trying to think in my head, hold on, like, what's he asking me? Let me find that information. As I was thinking, it must have been for you not the normal amount of time for that response. So then
Yeah.
you begin what sometimes people do. You go, I mean, it's a pretty simple question.
Uh-oh.
Gretch, it's just your mom's maiden name. But so as each question's coming in, I can't think the answer.
But there's all the same question.
And
It's
I
just
remember,
one question.
I
Not
know,
all
but
the
it doesn't
questions
feel like
come
that.
in.
I remember standing there and you going, I mean, come on, Gretch, it's your mother's maiden name and like the city you were born in, or it's these are pretty basic things.
They
and as
are.
you're saying it, I'm finding myself like, like each one is a bullet hitting me. I'm feeling like assaulted with these questions. I'm feeling like interrogated and panicked, and then I just got to fight you. I got to fight you at that point because
And
I'm
then I
like
feel
been
attacked.
triggered.
And then I feel attacked.
You feel attacked, and then maybe I'm attacking you now,
Right.
and then
So I am being attacked. So my feeling is justified. So.
yeah. And I
So
feel
you're
like you
the only
attacked
crazy
me
one
first.
in this
Wait a
relationship.
minute. No,
That's what
no.
it comes down to. I think
No.
you've just proven my point.
No.
I've proven my point. Now, on a scale of
Yeah, I
1 to
might be the
5,
bigger crazy.
how crazy do you think you are?
son of a gun,
5
I'm a
meaning most
13.
crazy. Oh boy.
I'm gonna. You know what I'm gonna write? I have to write a little note next to your. You know what? It's my right as an American to
First
say
of
I
all,
won't speak
I think
in numbers.
the use of the word crazy is a ridiculous way to assess somebody's mental state. So I think there's a better way to say that. Anyway, that said, I would. Oh my God!
I've taped a
Can I
cassette
get another
tape.
piece of paper, please?
I've taped a cassette tape here to my form as I turn it in. If you will please listen to my word voice answers, then you can get to know me. But I won't jump through your hoops and put my thoughts and feelings into a number. And I'm pretty sure that as an American, I have a right to say I refuse to speak in numbers or emojis. So do you want my sentence opinion? If not, don't ask me then. No. I'll give you my opinion. But not through your little. I'm not jumping through your hoops and putting it in an emoji.
So, ma'am, in other words, you would say that the tires are a 5?
Ah!
Oh boy. Well, I will do my best not to interrogate you, but boy, if
can't
it's
be
just
helped.
asking those questions, and
'Cause just
I know
a
you'll
direct question
do
freaks
your
me
best
out.
not to attack me, but you can't help it. When you're interrogated, all you want to do is attack.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
You know, it's hard. It's hard living.
Bleach and
It's
vinegar.
so hard.
Together, they're
Explosive.
toxic.
Toxic.
Poison. Why can't I breathe? Oh, because you're in the room with me,
We must
attacking
walk away
me.
from argument. We must walk away.
In terms of vinegar and your vinegar experience, would you say that the poison is a 5, a 4,
Out.
a 1?
Get out.
Ooh, that was a good act out. We were really poisoned there from our own toxicity.
I feel pretty good now.
I feel actually pretty good too.
I honestly feel like, Luke's, thank you, because I had a lot of stuff pent up about these surveys because they're freaking everywhere.
Yeah, they really are.
But now I know how I feel about it.
Good.
So thank you. And now I know I don't have to, and I'm not going to. I'm not participating.
I don't blame you.
Thank you.
Good conversation.
It was a conversation at least.
You want to have another one?
Yep.
All right.